I fully expect only 10% of the people who are watching this video to be sticking around by the end of this video. Our attention span is shrinking and it has been shrinking for a very, very long time. In 2000, it was supposed to be 12 seconds. Now, in 2015, it was supposed to be about 8.25 seconds. And in 2025, I don't know what it is. My guess is about 6 seconds or less than that. That's very sad, but that's where we are. It's a digital attention economy, as people say, where we are going after one dopamine hit after the other. And that is what is costing us. In this era of needing to be focusing, we are very, very bad at it. And we lack the skills and the concentration and the ability to focus on what we need to do. So, what is it that we can do? All of us are in the same boat. All of us are having the problem of focus in the era where we need to focus. How do we fix it? But let's start with what causes it. Therefore, we can look at what to and how to fix it. Let's jump in. The very first problem is the digital attention economy, which I just briefly spoken about. It's all about the notifications, new news coming in every single time. There is a ping and there's a new news. There is a ping, there is something coming in. There is a ping, there is something else coming in. It could be WhatsApp, it could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be all of these notifications where our brain starts to look for new things, new news every single minute. And therefore, every time there is a ping, we can't but go to that phone, we can't but take that notification, we can't but take away from whatever important that work that we are doing to go and see what has come newly into it. The digital attention economy and websites are designed like that. Facebook is designed like that. WhatsApp is designed like that. It's all designed in a way which makes it very, very addictive for us, which makes it ensures that we tear away from whatever we are doing, go to whatever the ping hit has come and take a look at it. The design is addictive and we all have become addicts to that. That's the problem number one. This problem is happening because of what is called as a dopamine hit. Our brain secretes something called as dopamine every time there is a pleasure, every time there is new news that we go after, every time there is a reward system which happens. This reward system is in the brain is called dopamine. And every time we get a ping, every time we get a news, every time we scroll on Instagram, every time we scroll on Facebook, there is a bit of a dopamine hit which happens, which tells us, oh, this is a pleasurable experience. That same thing doesn't happen when you continuously focus on your task for 2 hours, 3 hours, when you sit and study, when you sit in a meeting, which is important meeting, and try to focus on what is being said by different speakers in the meeting. The dopamine hits don't happen, and therefore you get bored, and that is also triggering the digital attention economy that I spoke about in the first place. So that's problem number two. Problem three is called information overload. We get so much of information these days from various different resources. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be WhatsApp, it could be your mails, it could be phone calls, it could be the number of things that you do in a day. We are not designed to handle information like this. There's so much of overload of information, and therefore the brain is not able to process all of that at the same time. The brain is not able to remove things saying that, okay, this is not important, I'll come to it. This is not important, I'll come to it. I'm going to focus on this particular task now. The brain is not able to take a call. The brain is not able to remove things which is not important to it because it doesn't know what is important, because it is getting used to taking one call, next call, and taking bit of information here, bit of information here, bit of information here. That is what is happening constantly, and that is not good for the brain. But we are being bombarded with more and more and more information, more and more and more decision making, and therefore processing of information at the same time. And therefore, what is called as information fatigue sets in, decision fatigue sets in, and we are all getting trained to jump from one decision to another decision in a matter of minutes. And that is what exactly we're doing. We are not able to focus on one task continuously. We jump from that task to another task, that task to another task. We want everything to be done in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, because that is the rate at which we are trying to process information which keeps coming to us. So now problem number three, information overload, which is all of which is killing us. The pace at which we are living. Everything seems urgent. Everything seems important. Everything keeps continuously changing, at least on the phone. Yeah, you see the Facebook, you see news one, news two, news three, notification one, notification two, notification three. There is ping from WhatsApp, there is ping from Instagram. There is news which is happening all over the world, news which is happening in so many people's lives, all of which are coming and telecasted to you, broadcasted to you. And therefore, you seem to think that everything is important and everything is happening all at the same time. And all of that seems to be rushing past us. And therefore, we are tricked to believe that we are living in a very, very fast paced world. We are. But the pace at which the news is coming to us, the pace at which things are happening around us, which is telecasted by our own digital phone, is taking us to believe that the world is changing faster than it actually is. That is why when there is a phone call, we are urgently wanting to take it. When there is a ping, we want to take a look at it. When there is a ring on the phone, we want to go attend it, dropping whatever important things that we are doing. All of this is happening because there is a fear of missing out. We think that pace at which we are living is very, very fast, and therefore even more fear of missing out on whatever is happening, whatever notification is happening to us. The fear of missing out in the fast-paced economy is the problem number four, which is causing this massive drop in focus. One, we need to train our brain, train ourselves to start focusing longer and longer and longer. The brain is a muscle as much as any other muscle is, and it needs training. And with training, it can start focusing, but it does need training. So the trick is not to start at, okay, I'm going to focus on 3 hours. No. If you have not trained yourself, and if you want to lift 100 kg without training yourself to do that, you are going to be badly injured. Therefore, start small. Start with 5 minute attention span first. If you're struggling to focus even for 5 minutes, there's no point looking at 3 hours. So start with 5 minutes, start with 10 minutes, start with 15 minutes, whatever that smallest level of interval for you is, and then gradually increase it to next level. So start with 10 minutes, then for 4 5 days, focus. Tell yourself that I'm going to focus on this. I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm not going to look at take any calls. I'm not going to deviate from this particular task to anything else. Just going to sit and think and focus on this particular task on hand and nothing else. Tell yourself, train yourself, stay with your task for the first 10 minutes. And then after 4 5 days where you are comfortable with that task, then expand that to 20 minutes. Then after 4 5 days of getting comfortable, after a week of getting comfortable with that, expand that to 1 hour and so on and so forth. So do it incrementally so that you are comfortable, you are able to be true to yourself, that you are able to focus and then increase the span of focus. When you do this, you are able to actually start focusing more and more and more for more and more span. That's the trick number one. That's the training number one that you need. Training number two is what I call as a smart dopamine loading. You need dopamine hits, and in this social media world, in this digital attention economy world, we can't really get away from the social media. We can't really get away from our digital phone. However, what we can do is control and regulate the way the dopamine hits us. So the one trick that I would urge, definitely urge you to practice is tell yourself and reward yourself only when you finish all your tasks. Tell yourself that I'm going to take a 10-minute break after doing this 1 hour task. And at the end of this 1 hour task, after finishing the task successfully, I will take a 10-minute social media break and I will look at my phone. So your brain is going to be ready for that 10-minute dopamine hit, 10-minute social media scrolling, but it is getting ready for doing that after this 1 minute, after this 1 hour of focusing. So when you train your brain like that, saying that, yes, I'm not going to look at my phone after immediately after getting up. I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm not going to look at social media. I'm not going to deviate my attention. I'm not going to look at my this clip. I'm not going to do this looking at this movie. Any of that which is distracting your attention, any of which is looking pleasurable for you, postpone it, delay it, and reward yourself with that activity, which is the pleasurable activity, after you've done enough amount of focusing. When you do like that, your brain processes that and your brain is ready to take that dopamine hit a little later, a delayed gratification sometime later, so that you are able to focus on the task on hand. What is called as delayed gratification, what is called as smart dopamine loading. Try that, practice that, that will going to help you enormously. Third thing that you can do is to use technology to block technology. There are distractions available all over the place. There are things which are going to distract you. There are going to be pings, there are going to be social media and WhatsApp pings and phone calls. So what you can do is to use technology like Forest, like other session and so on, other apps like that, which help you to focus, stay focused on your task. So, for example, something like a forest, if you download and start using it, it plants a tree and the tree grows as long as you stay focused on your truck. The moment you lose focus, you come out, you start checking your notification, the street tree that you planted start drying and dying. So that's a very fun way of ensuring that you stay focused on your track, whatever that you're doing, on track for doing that, and not deviate from whatever that is taking the attention away from you. And there are apps which can completely block all call. There are apps which can completely block all notifications. When you take help of these technologies to ensure that you don't get deviated from other technology that can actually help you. So check out, I've given in the uh, link a list of such apps which can really help you. Take a look at it, download whatever is feasible for you, download whatever is completely free, and start the journey of using technology to block technology, which is diverting attention away from whatever that you want to focus on. The next one is to embrace boring tasks. The power of boring is underestimated. When you are able to indulge in boring tasks, focus on that continuously, your focus improves enormously. People don't realize it, but it is an important arsenal, important weapon in the arsenal that you can have in terms of improving your productivity, improving your focus. So here is the deal. Try boring tasks. Stay with them. Don't let the dopamine craving move you from that boring task to something else. Go sit with that email. Go sit with that project. Go sit with that what you deem as boring continuously. Stay with it. The more you stay with it, the more you practice your brain to stay with it, the more you practice your body to stay with it, saying that, yes, I know it is boring. Yes, I know it is not new news. I know it is not a dopamine hit. I know it is not a pleasurable activity for now, but I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to increase my muscle power, my focusing power. Your focus will increase. Your ability to handle those boring tasks will increase. Remember, boring tasks are what makes the official day. Boring tasks are what makes the productivity improve. Boring tasks are the key for all of the things that we do. So start one thing at a time. Start with, okay, I'm going to tackle all the emails now. Maybe 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, maybe boring for you. Stay with it. Then add one more project to it. I have been tackling the 15-minute emails, which is boring for me, pretty good, pretty well these days. 3, 4 days, 1 week. Now I'm going to add this one more project which I have been postponing for a while, procrastinating for a while because it is boring to my schedule. Add that to your morning routine, add that to your way of doing things and start doing that. So slowly increase and expand the number of boring tasks that you do without giving into the craving for more new news, more new things, more pleasurable things. And add even more things. Add the skill that you always wanted to learn, but you never learned because it is boring, because you have to apply yourself. So when you do all of these so-called boring tasks and continuously apply yourself, that is where you actually start realizing the power of focus. But apply yourself, start one thing at a time, one boring task at a time, add more boring tasks, stay with it, and apply all the principles that we have been talking about to that, you will succeed. The last one, but the most important one to my mind in the whole range of things that we can do to improve our focus is finding out your why. It is said that when your why is clear, almost any what, anyhow becomes bearable and acceptable. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why you want to wake up every single morning and go to the office? Why you want to wake up every single morning and study what you want to study? Be very, very clear about that. If you're studying because your parents wanted you to do, you will succeed, but not as spectacularly as if you are studying for your own sake. If you go to the office just because you got a job and you are getting a decent salary, you will not succeed as much as you are going and doing the job because you love doing that. So find out that why, find out that passion, find out that interest, which is there in every job. I'm not a propagator of find out your passion and go after it and do that. And your job should be basis that. No, you have to find out many, many different things, especially if you're young, especially if you are in the range of 25, 26 years old. You need to do many things to find out your true passion. And the true passion also changes over a period of time. But whatever you do, you can find out meaning in it. Whatever you do, you can find out your why in it. And you need to find out that why. Why are you interested in doing this? Is money the only thing? Is that you have four friends who are also in the job and therefore you are joining that? Find out. The finding out is going to be very, very important and can be very, very crucial because that will supply that energy, that psychic energy, that psychological energy, which you would lack otherwise. But once you understand, oh, this is what I want to do, I can contribute. I have these skills and I can bring that to bear in the office meetings. I have these skills. I can contribute to my team. I can make this team better. I can make my company better. I can make my product better. I can make my service better. When you find out and hit on that why, then everything is falls in place. Then you will know, okay, I can also learn this. I can also get this. I can also upgrade myself. And this is the path I can go towards. This is the ideal that I can realize. This is a vision that I can become. And this is a better version of myself I can easily become. So it is important for you to figure out your why. How do you figure out? Reflection. You look at what has been the motivating force for you. What are the subjects which have interested in you in your student days? What are the things that you have always gotten interested? What are the skill sets that you bring to bear with your interest, which has put you in this position, put you in this job, made you study, made you work, whatever you have been doing? Figure out from your childhood. And when you are able to do that, you will be able to figure out why you want to do whatever you want to do. What is your motivating force? I've also given a link of my some of my other videos which would help you find out that why. But it's not very difficult. It's a continuous process of finding out the inner core, inner reason with which we do things, which fires whatever we do. But please find it out because it is going to be very, very useful for you because it will give meaning to your life. Once you find out that meaning, everything becomes possible. And when everything is a possibility, then you will go places. Nobody can stop you. So go ahead, do all of these five things that I said. You can download the material which is there in the description link of the YouTube video. Please download it, go through it. Step by step process is given so you can refer to it once more and go ahead and win and do whatever you want to do in your life because that is what you have always been wanting to do. See you in our next episode.